All right, y'all. So we have a former Pentagon official went on CNN and basically said UFOs are real. Barack Obama went on one of the late night shows and said, yeah, there's plenty of stuff in the air that we don't know what the hell it is. And there's countless examples of that. There's been, video released from the Navy, and they've been like, yeah, we see this thing moving not like any aircraft we've ever seen before ever move, and we don't know what the hell's going on. So CNN does this segment basically trying to confirm, like, UFOs are real. Here's that conversation.
The U.S. government is set to release an unclassified report on UFOs maybe as early as next week.
What was once considered a joke is now seen by a lot of people as a genuine national security issue. Ex-government officials are increasingly outspoken about it. Even former President Barack Obama conceded this month there are things that they simply cannot explain.
What is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
Our next guest is the former director of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program at the Pentagon. And here's what he said on 60 Minutes a few weeks ago.
Imagine a technology that can do 600 to 700 G-forces, that can fly at 13,000 miles an hour, that it can evade radar, and that can fly through air and water and possibly space. And, oh, by the way, has no obvious signs of propulsion, no wings, no control surfaces, and yet still can defy the natural effects of Earth's gravity. That's precisely what we're seeing.
And Luis Elizondo joins us now. Lou, great to have you here. I don't think there's any question anymore. These are real. I mean, Navy pilots are on the record with what they've seen flying around. Military videos have caught images of these UFOs. What do you think this report, maybe as early as next week, is going to say?
Well, I hope the report provides Congress what it asked for and, frankly, what it deserves, and that is a current assessment of the situation. My only fear is that 180 days is really not a sufficient enough time to provide a comprehensive report. When I was working in the Pentagon, we did this for nearly a decade, and there's a lot of information to comb through. And again, my fear is that 180 days is simply not going to be long enough to provide that comprehensive report to Congress that it asked for.
So your expectation that this won't be comprehensive then?
Well, I think it's going to be a start. My hope is that this is going to serve as an interim report. And frankly, I hope that there's a more long-term enduring capability that's established within the government, perhaps a whole-of-government approach, to look at this issue. This issue is not a recent issue. It's been going on for many, many years, if not decades, and it's finally coming to the point where the U.S. government really it's reached this critical mass where we just can't simply deny it anymore.
And so, Lou, when you were the director of this special program at the Pentagon, what information did you see that the rest of us don't know about?
Sure. Well, I think what's important here is we're talking about eyewitness testimony from trained observers. These are individuals we have spent millions of dollars training for them to recognize the silhouette of a F-16 versus an Su-22 versus a MiG-25, in some cases from 25 miles away. And what they're reporting to us are really extraordinary vehicles doing extraordinary things. And furthermore, it's backed up by electro-optical data, such as gun camera footage, and further backed up by radar. So in essence, you have three distinct pieces, or if you will, collection sources that are all providing the same information at the same time, at the same place, under the same circumstances, and all really validating what the pilots are seeing. And so it's very compelling. And at this point, we know it's real.
You know, you make an interesting point at this point that you know it's real. Not too long ago, as I mentioned, this would have been a joke, but now you've got a president, former president, acknowledging this. What changed that now we have former President Obama saying, serious now, there are things that we cannot explain?
Yeah, well, and it's not just former President Obama. We have former Director of National Intelligence Ratcliffe. We have former Director of CIA John Brennan, former Director of CIA Woolsey. All of them have come forward, along with some of our elected officials in Congress who stepped forward. All have received classified briefings on the topic, and what they're being provided is extremely compelling. I think, again, we are well beyond reasonable doubt at this point. So the real question is, what exactly are we dealing with? Are we dealing with some sort of foreign adversarial technology, or are we really dealing with something that's a paradigm moment for our species and dealing with something completely different?
And what do you think it is? I mean, when you say that something can travel at 13,000, miles per hour, you don't see any form of propulsion. It can go up and down. It defies the laws of technology and gravity as we know it. What do you think it is?
Well, to be completely honest, it's too early for us to make any type of conclusion right now. I think we're still in the phase of data collecting and analyzing. I think all options have to remain on the table until, frankly, they're no longer on the table. And I just want to be very careful offering my particular opinion right now because, frankly, we just don't have enough data to make any type of logical conclusion yet.
Well, it certainly is fascinating. And again, we are awaiting this unclassified report. We will all read it when it comes out. Luis Elizondo, thanks so much for your expertise and time, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, this is CNN casually confirming, like, oh, by the way, UFOs are completely real. What? Wait, what? That was way too casual a segment for, like, the bomb that they dropped on everybody here. So, I mean, listen, I'm reminded of when I was in college. In one of my classes, we had to do some sort of report, some sort of speech that you give to the class, some presentation. And naturally, of course, you guys are not going to be surprised to know that I did a Chomsky speech thing. And I actually think the thing was you're supposed to take a speech that already exists or something and present it. It was something along those lines. Anyway, one of the things that one of the students did, one of the other people did, is they went up there, did a slideshow of like all these different UFO sightings. And the argument that he made was like, listen, I'm not saying that any of these ones in particular are real. In fact, I think maybe most of them are made up. They're fake. They're some, high-level video editor having some fun, playing a joke on people, whatever. But the point he made was there's been tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of UFO sightings over the years. If just one of them isn't faked, isn't a trick, isn't a practical joke, isn't explainable through natural phenomena, whatever, doesn't matter, then UFOs are real. So out of like 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is, fill in the blank. Let's go on the low end, 40,000 UFO sightings. If just one of them is real, then UFOs are real. Now, I remember hearing that and thinking, that's actually not a bad point. That's not a bad point. Now, this is the part where I have the unsavory, probably unpopular opinion. I don't know what to do with that information. You know what I mean? Like, some people get really obsessed with this and go down the rabbit hole and are, like, all in on it. I don't understand that inclination. Because the fact of the matter is this. What you just heard in this segment is the extent of what we know. Like, yes, there are these unidentified flying objects that move in a way that seem to don't coincide with the laws of nature. Can I explain what it is? Do I know what it is? Do I have a theory as to what it is? No, I have no idea. I have none. Absolutely none. Zero. It's an unidentified flying object. And so that's pretty much where it stops for me. I guess I'm just agnostic on the rest. I wouldn't immediately take the giant leap of like, these are extraterrestrials who found a way here and who are spying on us or whatever, keeping tabs on us. It's possible, but there's other things that are possible as well that are not as sexy explanations. So I just don't know. I mean, that's my answer. And I know it's completely unsatisfying. I know that you guys want to hear some sort of edgy, brilliant take, but I don't have an edgy, brilliant take. I just have complete humbleness in the face of the unknown. And so the other point is, I thought this during the Trump era. I thought, there's no way UFOs are real, because if they were, Trump would have, like, tweeted it out at 4 a.m. while he was shitting for the whole world to hear. You know, like, so talk to the Pentagon today. Turns out aliens are real. Totally crazy. MAGA. And he didn't do that, so I was like, okay, UFOs are probably not real. But, you know, this is definitely compelling evidence in the other direction. But again, the extent of my knowledge is unidentified flying objects are real, not unidentified flying objects are real, and here's what they are, and if you disagree, you're crazy. No, I don't know what they are. They're unidentified flying objects. So, yeah, I don't know, but it definitely is creepy, isn't it? Like, let me put it this way. There definitely is life somewhere else in the universe, because the universe is just too big for there not to be life elsewhere. But I mean, I just don't know if they are sufficiently evolved enough to be able to create this new kind of technology that would defy all the laws of physics and nature and would work in the way that they say it's working. And like, if they're anything like us, they would have already killed us all. So that's another thing, is like, how can it be that at this late date with all these sightings, there hasn't really been a single example of human to human or human to alien contact and conversation and meeting up? And, you know, it's like, why is it always something that's so distant? Why is it always something that's so in and out and quick? Why is it always recorded on some grainy ass fucking video? You know, that's the other thing. All the Navy shit, and they're like, look, we see it, and it's all black and white and grainy, and you could barely see it, and it's like, that's always weird to me too. Like, we have HD cameras fucking everywhere, and nobody's got some HD shit. I say that, but then you guys will probably send me 40 HD things. But that's the thing, like, again, you don't know which ones are faked and which ones are real and all that stuff, and I don't care enough to do the research to figure out which ones are real and faked and whatever. But anyway, listen, all I'm saying is I'm humble. I don't know what the fuck it is. I believe that UFOs are real, but I don't have a theory as to what the UFOs are. And I think everybody just immediately goes to that sexiest explanation of, like, extraterrestrials, aliens, doing something with us, fucking with us, playing with us, and that is it. And I don't know. I just don't know. It's possible, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, CNN is just confirming here, like, UFOs are real, and they did it so nonchalantly. I was kind of amazed by it.